Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, my name is LJ and you're watching NoClutch Garage. And today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Precision Raceworks port injection kit for B58 Gen 1. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, here we have the kit. And if you open up the box, I already undid the tape and everything, but you have a little fridge magnet. And right here you have a calibration certificate. Dynamic flow, static flow, all the serial numbers, and then the advertised injector flow for the injectors that I got. We got the black one, and then we have the injectors. They already come installed and everything. You don't have to mess with it. This plate looks really nice, and I actually like the matte finish a lot better than I do the anodized aluminum. You know, at the end of the day, this plate is going to be hidden, so you're not even going to get to enjoy the color, but it does look good. Really solid construction. I've been playing around with it a little bit because I did unbox it already, and just kind of looking at it, it's a really high quality PI plate. I mean, I really like it. So we're gonna put it up here. It also comes with the spacers for the manifold support. So if you put a plate on there on your head, the manifold is gonna rise about an inch, I would say, or maybe 3/4 of an inch. And these guys right here are there to support the manifold. Whenever you race it, the support brackets have a space about this big between the manifold and the support bracket. So with these, since it's gonna go up a little bit higher, it's also gonna go over about 1/2 inch. So that's why these are made. And it's really thoughtful that they included this. I've seen other kits that don't have anything like this. And yeah, this is a really smart move. It also comes with the gaskets for the little O-rings for the plate, so that you got, you know, a nice seal. And then of course the bolts, so you can bolt the PI plate up to the head. And if you lift this little tab up, it will reveal the fuel line. And this fuel line obviously will go on the fuel rail, and this will tap into your low pressure line. I got this kit along with the stage 4.5 low pressure fuel pump, which I will also be doing an unboxing of. But this is pretty much everything that comes within the box whenever you got it. And so I'm just gonna put everything back in. But I do want to talk about PI for a little bit. All right guys, so let's talk about port injection for a little bit. What is port injection? So port injection, first of all, is supplementary fuel or auxiliary fuel. For this application, I should say for B58, you have to get a port injection fuel rail if you want to increase the power output of your motor. The stock injectors on the B58 are about 1500 cc's. The biggest limiting factor there is actually the fuel pump. You can upgrade your fuel pump and you can output more fuel. The main reason why we upgrade the fuel systems on these cars, at least here in the United States, is because we use a lot of ethanol as our fuel. So E85, it's cheap. You can get it pretty much any gas station, depending where you're from. But the fuel system is not made to handle E85. It's just that simple. The low pressure fuel pump will handle around 700 wheel horsepower, but the high pressure system does not. The high pressure system actually caps out at around 650 with a 50-50 mix, or even E40. It's not very powerful, so everything I've done for a while was with direct injection, and you know, I was able to push the car pretty far. The injectors on this platform are actually quite big, so the injectors are not really the limiting factor at the moment. Once they make a bigger pump, or if they make a larger pump that's more powerful and can drive more fuel, then perhaps we might hit an injector limit. But as of right now, that is not an issue. A workaround though is this port injection plate. Now if you go to any other platform, like for example Audi and Mustangs do this. So the Coyote platform has direct and port injection, and so does the Daza platform on the TTRS and the RS3. So those have port and direct injection from the factory. The only thing you have to do there is upgrade your injectors, and that's it. For us, we have to add a plate, or if you have an upgraded manifold, you can add injectors if your manifold is designed to, you know, be able to take injectors. And then you can add a plate with injectors and have extra fuel. And that fuel line will connect directly to the fuel in your tank. So that way you can actually inject more fuel. Now obviously there's a fuel controller and everything else that has to go along with it so that you can actually do that. So my previous setup, when I ran 729 horsepower, I was running direct injection fuel. So it was about an E50 mix on the fuel tank. And then I had a separate system, which is meth injection, but it's also direct port meth. And that system had about 6 injectors at 375 cc's each, and it was spraying M1 fuel. And then I had a smaller fuel tank in the trunk where all that fuel was coming from. And obviously along with that, you need a controller, you need to run the fuel from the back to the front. It's a whole thing, but it works. It's not the best because there aren't many safety features on modern meth kits. The one that I was using did have a safety in place, but unfortunately, because we're running out of time before the event and other things, we weren't able to implement it. But it's still meth and it's using nozzles. It's not using real injectors. You can't fire them sequentially. It's just a mist that progressively gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You can run into issues doing that. So the best thing to do is to get injectors or an injection plate like the one I have here, and then get a controller that can fire sequentially. We didn't have that ability as of recent, but Motive Motorsports has fixed some of that with the reflex controller. So I will be pairing that with a reflex controller. That way the fuel can be fired sequentially, just like the injectors fire. But yeah, and as I go through the build, we're gonna get more in depth in all of this. I know a lot of people don't really know the difference between port meth and E85 port injection, or even what port injection is. So hopefully, you know, I gave you a little bit of an insight as to what it is. This plate comes with 950cc injectors. I could have gone bigger, but I think for what I'm doing right now, 950 is plenty. We're gonna slap this on the car and start making some jam. But guys, this has been the unboxing of the Precision Raceworks port injection system for the B58 Generation 1. And hopefully this will shed a little bit more light as to what this is, what comes included, and quality construction. It's really good. And I'm not just saying that because this is what I got. I mean, this is really a good plate. And for the most part, you can't really mess up these plates unless the engineering was just bad. But these companies take their time revamping and redesigning their plates and, you know, making revisions so that ultimately you get a great product. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later.